So here we go. So this is day 2 of Adventures in Copper Clay. Right. So we've just seen. Oh, she's gone. Oh, she's having a food. So where's Dawn gone? So Dawn's done some, and Susie's done some little samples. Have you had a chance to do any, Tony?
No, I've been teaching art today, so
Ah, lovely. So it looks like Abby's done something. That looks like a pumpkin.
It's a little pumpkin, yeah. And
Yeah.
really well. Is that better? Nope.
Which
My
clay did
fingers
you
are
use?
so. I used the Project X. I did a touch piece. I did a molded piece.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. The pumpkin cut out. So
Yeah. Isn't it nice to be able to do big things? It's like, oh, it's like I would
so
never, ever have this much silver in one piece. So this is one that I'd done with Pam's.
Oh, yes.
oh, pretty.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure Paula's done something like that.
Yeah.
yeah, we're not fired it yet.
You've got a massive collection of things to fire. Well, there you go. I have. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't have dreamt of doing something like that in silver clay. So it's like, oh yes, nice and big for me.
Well, when I ordered it, I didn't realise how big it was going to be. So it sat there and I thought, well, it can be a copper clay one. It's fine.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So righty ho. So dolphin, right. Okay. So what I thought we'd do today um is we'll go through the finishing, what we do to finish and what they look like out of the kiln, because I've got some things that I put in yesterday that were ready to come out. So the finishing, and then talk about sort of keeping them nice and bright and lovely. Um, I've got some top tips as well that I want to share with you. And then I'll talk about enameling, because you can enamel on this. And this is part of the reason I've done it as just the one metal, because I do want to enamel on it, and I have enameled on it. So I know in particular Tony does a lot of enameling, and so does Susie.
Can you enamel on the bronze one?
No.
Okay. Can you use the sort of PBO
Yes.
acrylics and then you can so you can do colour.
Yes, you could definitely do colour using the alcohol inks or acrylics.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I did have a conversation with Carrie where she was talking about looking at whether or not there was a way to do the bronze with enameling. I'm not sure chemically it's possible, but it'd be interesting to see what. She was talking about talking to Michael Galvin about it as well. He seems to have a knack for that sort of thing. Give him a project to do. So yeah, just at the moment it's a definite no. But there's plenty of other things you can use because I know you like colour. And then what I thought I'd do as well was sort of just finish off with all sorts of other things that you could do with them and talk to you about the bowls as well and the firing schedule for bigger pieces. So is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Yep. I haven't sussed out this 40-minute thing yet. It's probably not a bad thing because we probably need a break anyway. Uh, what I have realised is I have got the PMC one and I have got my personal one, so it's getting very confused between the two. Okay, so apologies for that, but it actually helps in breaking up the recordings as well. And a few of you have seen that I have set up a Facebook group.
I couldn't join
That
it.
was Paula's wonderful suggestion. So you've
But
either got an email.
I couldn't
Um,
join.
You couldn't join?
No.
Oh, I shall
Oh, I
look
didn't. I didn't get an email.
I joined you anyway, Dawn,
Oh, did you? Okay.
because I could join people because I did it on.
Oh,
You have
okay.
to do it under your page, and those
I
that
see.
followed my page, I could join. I could just put you in. But
I see that you've done
um,
that. I haven't been on Facebook
yeah.
today.
I haven't been on Facebook for
So
a month.
Abby's on, you're on. I think Vivian's on. Esther, I think I put on. Did I put you on, Paula? Pretty sure I did.
Yeah, I've literally just
There-
joined, but I couldn't see any posts. It wouldn't let me look at posts
Oh, there
at
was
the moment.
definitely some posts,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll see. Just let me see what's there. Hmm. I'll spend a bit of time doing it later on. So, oh, it's gone dark again.
It's
Right,
absolutely
so
tipping it down.
well, it's done that.
Mm.
It's been windy. It's been very, very sunny, and now it's gone dark again.
Mm.
It's very confusing, this weather, isn't it?
Mm.
I'm going to swap over and show you these finished ones. I need to change the view. There you go. Right. So these were 2 pieces of Cool Tools ones, the Cool Tools Cypress, that came out of the kiln this morning, well, this afternoon. And you can see the different colours we've got. Really nice colours. This one seems very, very thin. And I'm sort of pressing it, expecting it to break. It was done at 3 cards. Doesn't feel like 3 cards anymore. So you can see the different patina that you're getting. And this was straight out. I've done nothing to this. Literally, I've picked it up and put it there. So there was none of the black on there at all. None of that oxidization. But you can see this is the one that I did with the art clay. And you can see the difference in the colours as they have come out. So I wanted to show you that. You can see why I do the same thing. That way I can see what the shrinkage is. You can see as well, this is quite wobbly. So it's definitely warped. But that doesn't mean to say that that will happen to you.
So, Helen, with that, the round disc, would you, if you're using Project X, what would the minimum and that you would roll it out to? Would it be 4 cards?
No, 3 easily.
3 easily. Okay.
3,
So I rolled
yeah.
out to 4. I rolled out to 4 with my test pieces. So I'll be fine then, won't I?
Yeah. What are these
Yeah.
test pieces looking like? I think you showed
They're,
me a minute ago.
yeah, I did a couple of like little chain links.
Oh, they were the little ones, weren't they?
Did some little links as well. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I did a
Good.
couple of molded pieces as well, but they're not particularly deep. They're certainly a lot deeper than the rolled out pieces.
Yeah. Right.
So
So
I've got
yeah,
to,
it'd be useful to see and take pictures of every stage,
okay,
because
I
then
will
you can
do. Yeah.
see how they evolve and
Yeah.
change over the time. So the first thing I need to do is flatten this one. So normally I would just use my hide mallet to flatten it. Unfortunately, all of my tools are in the boot of my car because I did a class. So I'm just using what I've got here, which is a metal block. There we go. And I'm putting a metal block on top of it. And then I'll hammer it.
And can I ask,
Yeah.
is it suitable or is it easy enough to like carve into the fired pieces if you want to add a bit more texture, or hammer into them if you want to add a bit of texture?
That is a very good question. I'm just going to do this,
Okay.
and what I'll do is get a piece and test it.
Okay.
That's probably the easiest thing.
Hmm.
I go through this process, and then we look at whether or not we can carve in. They
Yeah.
are pretty solid. So at this stage, I think it would be very difficult to carve in. But you could and you can definitely carve in the clay greenware stage,
Yeah.
and you could even use rotary tools.
Yeah.
Do wear a mask.
Hmm.
That's really important, being able to wear a mask, because there's going to be a lot of fibers and things coming up from that. So you can see that's flattened it. It's a lot better. Now, normally we would just get our brush. Ooh, that looks kind of nice. It's not got underneath at the moment. But it's looking nice. Lost all that lovely patina look. Never mind. You see why I kept that flower one with the patina on? That's just the kiln patina.
This might be another silly question, but when you're working silversmithing and you're using copper, you can what do you call it when you want to make it a bit more work, because it gets work hardened, doesn't it? So you can flame torch it to soften it down a bit. Can you do that with these pieces after they've been fired if you wanted to give it a bit of a bend?
Yeah, you could.
You could
It's basically annealing it.
annealing it. That's the
So
word. I couldn't
yes, you
think of
could
the word.
anneal
Yeah.
it. Yeah, you
Hmm.
could anneal it. No problem at all.
Yeah.
And
For instance, if you
as you
wanted to give
anneal
that a
it,
bit of
you
a
would get
dome. Yeah.
that different colour
You would. Yeah.
that would come back.
Yeah. It'd be
So
quite nice
just
if you
having,
could
sorry,
dome it a bit. It would be quite nice if you could dome it a bit. Could,
was
if you
that what you
changed
were
your mind.
asking, Paula?
Yeah, I just wondered if you could put it in the dome and
I'm
give it a good
pretty sure you
whacking.
could.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see why not.
And then you do the flame work that you used to do with the bowls.
Yeah,
Well, that sounds nice.
it does sound nice, doesn't it?
Mm.
So I had a little course getting sheet copper rounds and making bowls and then flame painting it. But essentially, you can see there is some of that patina under here at the moment. So if we compare it with this one, well, that's interesting. It seems to have distorted a little bit. But that's probably because my kiln went wonky on the burnout phase. You remember it got stuck on the kiln board. It didn't stop at the lower temperature, it kept going. So I think that's why. So I'm not going to judge it on that. And then we've got this one. So we could do the same in terms of polishing up for that. So that's number one. And I've used a pretty sturdy brush. You can see it's very well worn. Just to go around here. The next thing I have found that I need to do is use a rotary tool on it if I want to get it really shiny. I actually quite like this patina here, but I use a rotary tool. Now, I could use my Fordham. Somehow I just like, I don't know, I don't really fancy using my Fordham on base metals. And I've started using this because it's I can take this to classes with me. So I've got about 3 of these, and they're just pluggable in, plug them in there, charges them up, And you can see it's a mini grinder. So I do use this if I'm grinding in the greenware stage. I have also ground silver in the greenware stage as well. So this is quite handy. And I've also found that these Wannery bristles are really, really tough, because you do need something tougher for the copper and the base metals. So this is the one that I'm using at the moment. Comes with all the little chucks, all the little things here. And these are bigger than the ones that the 3M ones that we get. Probably a little bit rough for silver. Or I think they're a bit rough. I've only just put on the green one, which is a fairly light one. I've only put one on because I wanted to put one, two on, one on, one, to get into little crevices. So you can use them. But I do think these are quite very handy and good value for money. So I'm going to use this one, which is one of the more abrasive ones. I'll do it on a low speed. I don't know if you can see, but one side is definitely brighter than the other now. Okay. I'm going to leave part of that without the patina taken off, just so you can see that's darker. There we go. So that's quite nice and shiny now. I've kept that one little bit there just to show you the difference, but you can see how shiny that is. And bear in mind, this has had nothing done to it. They are clay one. I'll get this one. This one is, what was this one? This was the Project X. So I think that's enough for you to see that again, that's been brightened up. So I would definitely be a bit more abrasive in your polishing, and you can definitely use your tumbler. I found, well, I have two separate tumblers. I've got one that I keep for silver, and I've got one that I use for base metals.
Oh,
And that works for me. And then I can just swap them around. I'm not worrying about the base metals tarnishing the silver. I already had two.
could you do it by just having two lots of the balls and swapping those over?
Yes, definitely. Just wash it out in between times and you'd be fine.
Well, I usually wash mine out anyway.
Yeah, well, in that case, definitely.
Okay.
So I found, if you don't want to use your tumbler for base metals, something like this is perfect. I'll put the link for it in the group on Facebook. This is 20 quid from Amazon, and it comes with a load of different attachments as well. So I just find it's really useful. It's really, for me, taken over from my Fordham, which is a bit sad, really, because I spent a lot of money on that. But I just find it really, really handy, and I can just take it anywhere with me. So that is.
If anyone has a Lidl, they often have little things like that in
They do.
Lidl. I can't remember what their
Yeah.
brand's called now. It's got some, I quite like the name, but I can't remember what it is. But yeah,
Yeah, that is a really good point. I bought one from Lidl as well. In fact, if I look, I've probably got that in the garage. It's just that this one, because I do classes and I'm taking it out all the time, I can just charge it and take it. It's really good for that.
I think my Lidl one's a chargeable one.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be great
yeah,
then.
yeah. So I did the same thing, bought it to take to classes. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's always worth a look in the middle aisle, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I
Don't
use
we
a
all love
nail.
a middle aisle?
Yeah,
There
I
must
use
be
a nail tool.
an American version of the middle aisle. So you can see where we've gone from one to the other colour there.
Yeah.
And I think that's coming out quite nicely. So yeah, you've got choice. You might even get a barrel polisher from the middle aisle. Who knows? Right. So you can use you can use your standard brush. You can use something like this, a rotary tool. You can use your tumbler. And then you can, if you want, you could also patina these. So if you wanted to darken it and have some colour in there, you could use liver of sulphur. You could also use things like the alcohol inks to just rub it into the crevices as well and give it a nice colour. One of the things that I have found with mine is that the colour starts to change. So we're getting some oxide. This is what I have been using, the Renaissance wax. So you've probably all seen or heard of that. And I found this really good for sealing the metal after it's been polished. So like this. So I just wiped it on with a little cloth on both sides. And that has kept its colour without darkening. Whereas I have found some of the other things that I've got have started to darken. I mean, it's not a bad darkening because I think these colours are gorgeous. But if you look at the Project X there that I've just polished, this one's a redder colour. This is more of a sort of goldeny colour. But I do quite like that red. Oh, Tony's lost the sound. Anybody else?
No, we can still hear you.
Yeah? Can you hear me now, Tony? I guess not. Can somebody add in the chat to go out and come back in again for Tony?
She sorted it, it says.
Oh, we're back again. Right, good. So yeah, it's just a case of adding the Renaissance wax. Use a cloth. Just happen to have my finger here. It smells like boot polish. God, I haven't smelled boot polish for donkey's years. That is exactly what it smells like. I wonder if it polishes up like boot polish does. Not really. Just looks the same. I may have dirty fingers, which won't have helped it. But anyway, Renaissance wax, not with your finger, but with a polishing cloth. Or a soft lint-free cloth is what they normally say, isn't it? Yeah, buff it gently. It dries hard instantly, resists liquid spillage, and does not show finger marks, unless you put it on with your finger marks, I guess. So those are the things that I would recommend in terms of polishing them up.
So Helen, if you
Okay.
did a bracelet and a ring, do you have to protect it with make your hands? Or Risco green or
Yeah, I would definitely put that on, put the
Okay.
Renaissance wax on. Yeah, definitely. Um, you can get a lacquer spray that you can use for metals, and I can't remember exactly what it's called. I'll have to look it up. I think most craft shops do it because they use it as a sealant for things. I'll look it up. The sealant. I've got it written down somewhere, but I'll double check. Protector Clear. Yes. Vivian, do you know where you can get it from?
No, I bought some last year. I can't remember where it was from.
Right. Protector Clear. We'll look for some
Gosh,
links and put those in the
can't
group.
remember.
Yeah,
I'll have a
that's a
think.
good one. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. So I'm going to just change here back to me. And I want to share with you, if I can find it, my copper tips. Can everybody see that? Yep. Right. Okay. So this is my brain dump of copper tips. I wonder if
Will
that
you
will
be
actually
sharing
go
this
down.
with us, Helen?
Yeah.
As a
I'll
print,
put
as
it
a
in,
printout.
yeah, as a
Oh,
printout.
great,
Yeah.
great, thank you.
So you don't need to write these down. I will send them off to you. So the main one, using different tools, textures and cutters to prevent contamination or wash them out. Check the firing schedule. Did I tell you? I can't remember if I told you yesterday, but I made one of the bowls that we've been making, and I did it in bronze. I thought it was copper. I thought, oh, I haven't done anything in bronze yet. I put it on a copper schedule, and I ended up with some melting blobs of bronze. So double check. Do your test pieces, 3 cards thickness, unless it's the art clay, in which case do a minimum of 4 cards. I generally make things a little bit thicker than you would normally until you get the hang of it and you've got the feel for how thin things actually go. Use activated coconut carbon. That is really quite important. I've noticed that both the Cypress Copper and Project X both specify the activated coconut carbon and say definitely do not use magic carbon. It's the coconut carbon you must use. I wasn't sure what my carbon was, so I tested it and it was okay, but it didn't come out all the different colours and things like that that it had when I put the activated coconut carbon in. So I bought the coconut carbon because I wasn't sure exactly what it was. This next one, leave the pieces to cool in the pan. So in Helen's world, I'm like, right, okay, so when it's finished, does that mean I lift the lid off and let it cool down maybe quicker? Or do I keep the lid down and it could take all day to cool down? It's really the latter of keeping it closed and cooling down, but that can take forever, particularly with the Prometheus 7 kiln. It takes a lot longer to cool than the Paragon. So I did make a bit of a judgment call. I left the ones that I've shown you today. I left those in and I got these lovely colours that I showed you. When I am a bit more impatient, I do take it out. I lift the lid up or open the door, depending on what kiln you've got, and let it cool then. But it does take a long time to cool because that carbon plus the tin plus being in a box, it's retaining the heat all the time. But yeah, don't, if you think you have to use kiln gloves to take the tin out, it's too early to take it out. Okay. If you can take it out with your hands, fine. That's the discipline I'm trying to do for myself. So try and do that. Now then, the next one. Oh gosh, clearing out your carbon. So you can get ash, which is generally coming from the tin itself. Sometimes on a firing, you'll find some ash at the top if there's been some air in there. But if you're trying to clear your carbon of ash, you can't just wash it. What you're going to do is tip it from your pot. I use a plastic bowl, but you could use a metal bowl, and you're tipping it so that almost like the ash is blowing through. And I tend to do it a couple of times from one to the other. But I do wear a mask, and I wear either my glasses or some goggles, because those bits are going to get caught in the breeze. You don't want to breathe them in. Bear in mind that the job of carbon is to reduce the oxygen. Something, if you want something dehydrating, put it in carbon. And I don't mean metal clay. I mean, that its job is to take the oxygen out of things. So you don't want to breathe that in. You don't want that in your lungs at all. I do pick bits of the stainless steel out of carbon. If I see some bigger pieces as I go along, I just pick them out and throw them in the bin. But just check on that quite regularly, because your carbon won't be as efficient if it's got a lot of ash in there or some bits of stainless steel that have popped off. And when you take it through the firing process, you will find a lot of the stainless steel things do ping. You can hear it sometimes as it cooling down. It's pinging and pinging and pinging, which is why it's a good reason just to keep it in the kiln, because those little bits of it's not the carbon that's pinging, it's the stainless steel that's pinging. And you might as well keep it in your kiln and vacuum out your kiln than take it out and it's all over your floor or all over your work surface and contaminating work surface. Okay, yeah, it's part of the messy stuff, I'm afraid. When you're adding more carbon, so you're adding new carbon and topping it up, pre-fire it. So I mentioned this yesterday. Don't let the new carbon touch the metal pieces if you're just topping it up at the top and then putting it through the kiln, that is. Yeah. So place your pre-fired burn-off pieces on an inch of carbon at the bottom of the pan. So when we talked yesterday about a small pan and a larger pan. You still want an inch, whether it's a small one or a larger one. You still want the inch at the bottom and then top it up. But you can layer items in there.
Helen, can I just
and
interrupt you? Would we want an inch around the edges as well?
No,
Potentially.
you're all right with that. Yeah,
Okay.
you're all right with that. You could fill it up quite a lot if you needed to. But you were looking for the layers, and certainly with the Project X, it doesn't matter if they touch. I don't know about the cypress. I have a feeling I've seen chats where people say don't touch with the cypress. Okay. Troubleshooting. So if your wet clay has cracks in it, those cracks are going to get bigger when it's fired. So I'll show you afterwards, because this is not, oh yes, you can see it actually. Can you see that crack in there?
Yeah.
So it's right. And I think that's from folding and then putting it into the mold. Because it looks like I could get my nail underneath it maybe, maybe not. But there's definitely a crack in there, and I think that's what it was from folding it. I don't think it's going to affect the integrity of the piece. But if you had something where you cut a hole and you'd got a crack at the edge of the hole,